And we're live, as Martin Tyler will be saying at 12:30. Welcome back to West Ham Reunited. We're back again previewing the West Ham United Liverpool game taking place at the London Stadium tomorrow. But before we introduce our guest, I'd like to thank our channel sponsor Glazewise, Windows, Doors, Conservatories. John is your man, and if you quote West Ham Reunited, even if you're not a West Ham fan, you probably would get a discount, but I'll keep that quiet. And of course, I'd like to give a shout out to Iron Supporting Food Banks. If you're going to the game tomorrow, and if you could make a donation of any food or to anyone, to John, that would be great. Jazz, have they moved yet? Or are they still at the Aquatic Centre?
They're still there. The last time I checked,
because apparently they might be moving closer. I don't know whether that took when John was on Jake's show, but we'll find out. But you'll see it.
Yeah,
we'll find out. We'll find out, and we'll let you know. We've got a regular who's been on our show the last few weeks. We've got Mike. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good, Andy. I'm sorry I know you're a bit Tom Dick, and sorry to hear that, but I'm very good. Thanks, lovely to be here. Can I point out that I am aware that I look somehow both gay and evil today. That's what a black roll neck does for you. Do you know what I mean? But I am neither. I can assure you. Not there's anything wrong with being gay. I'm just to make that absolutely clear. And but yes, I'm neither gay or evil. Looking forward to this show and the game tomorrow.
And of course, Jazz organises the guests. Go on,
yes,
Jazz.
Yes, my cousin Harvey making his debut. He's a fully fledged Liverpool fan, so it's good to see a bit of the opposition review, really, and their point of view as well. So, welcome, Harvey, making his debut.
Cheers, Jazz. Yeah, thanks for having me, lads.
And he has been. I used to take him to Upton Park, so he's certainly got flavour Upton Park a good few times. And we'll tell a few tales later on as the show progresses. So, yeah, he's very familiar with West Ham, especially from me.
Upton Park. I used to love Upton Park.
Yeah, the London Stadium, we're slowly adjusting to it, but we can probably do a flipping 6-hour show on the London Stadium. we haven't really got time. Jazz, we sort of mentioned off air that our record's not great against Liverpool. So I'm going to get through some negatives and then hopefully end the show on a positive. So are you ready for some stats from me?
Go ahead, sir.
Since the league double over Liverpool in 2015-16, West Ham are winless in the last 10 Premier League games against the Red, drawing 2 and losing 8.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Sounds about right. It's usually damage limitation, and obviously that's the only opposition since David Moyes came back. He gets a bit... He changes things, and certainly last season we sat back a lot and no one could understand why. And then in the end we got rolled over. I think at Anfield, 2-1 defeat. We were 1-0 up, lost to obviously goal before half-time penalty, and then the winner 85th minute, I think. So sometimes we give a good game, but then we lose a couple at the end, because against Liverpool, especially with their front three, you have to be at it for the full 94, 95 minutes. You cannot relax, really. So all I want from our team tomorrow is continuing the same vein of form. I mean, if you look at the form tables, I mean, the league, we're both in the top 4. Liverpool second, we're 4th, 2 points between us. If you look at the form, we're 3rd, Liverpool are 7th, and we're at home. So hopefully that might even it up a bit, because Liverpool, obviously, along with City, in my eyes, are kind of the top 2 really in the country. I just want David to play his normal game and kind of really go at it, really, from the start. Yeah. Don't change the way you play. Don't give them different instructions to sit back and soak up and hit on, because sooner or later Liverpool gonna get you. So just go for it, really.
Kent's in the chat as well. Obviously Grant was as well, but we'll say hello to Grant, a regular contributor on Twitter as well. Thanks for retweeting our stuff. And Kent, morning Andy, Jazz and others. West Ham ex-loanee Jeremy Adi. Yeah, Christ, I remember him. On Soccer AM today, biggest test of the season tomorrow. Must have a go and not show them too much respect. Mike, how do you see this game going tomorrow?
It depends how we approach it, really, doesn't it? I mean, look, it's not going to be easy, is it? Let's face it. Do you know what I mean? They are very, very good. I think, Jazz, mate, you got it more or less right there. Look, they are going to score. Right, I don't think you can say they're not going to score. I think we need to have a go at their weaknesses. And that game against Brighton, there was a sort of almost like an instruction manual of how to get at them. I think that there are areas of the pitch we are better than Liverpool in. I know that is saying a lot. I understand that they are like one of the best teams in Europe. I'm not saying the whole team is better than them, Harvey, right? That's not what I'm saying. But there are areas at the pitch where I think we could be better than Liverpool on the day. Let's put it that way. And I think we need to focus on those. I definitely think we need to attack them. I think if we sit back, then we're going to be in real trouble because they will get through us. Because they can and will get through any team. Just look at Europe. Yeah, they will get through any team. They've got the tools to do it. Look at the players they've got in attack. Phenomenal lineup. That's an attacking lineup. Probably the best in Europe, if not the world. We are talking about one of the best teams on the planet at the moment. Yeah, in attack. So I think for me, that's how we should approach it. I'm not sure that's how we will approach it because Liverpool love to get behind you. I could see Moisey saying, okay, let's do the low block thing and try and stop that and try and force them to put crosses into the box, etc., where we would be better than Liverpool, especially high crosses. But Liverpool will still get around that because they've got the technical ability to do it. But anyway, yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah. I've just had a look. So obviously this is what I read yesterday. Obviously stuff can happen overnight. West Ham have got no injury concerns, and I think me and Jazz and everyone's shocked with that considering our recent injury record. But they're saying that obviously Harvey Elliott obviously got that injury at Leeds. Yeah. Obviously Firmino obviously going off the other night. But the one player who I never wish a player to be injured, but it's a benefit for us, is Keita at the minute. Obviously, when he went off last Saturday at Brighton, how good has he been for you this season so far?
He's been phenomenal. He was he's had a few man of the match performances as well. He's been really unlucky in his Liverpool career with injuries because when he came from the Bundesliga, he was arguably one of the best players in the league at the time when we signed him, and in the Bundesliga. But he hasn't got going. But when he does play, he puts in a shift in, and he's there. But I think there was a game, I can't remember the game where we drew. Was it the Brighton game? His defensive, not the Brighton game. Sorry, I think it was the
Man United, perhaps. I don't know. Watford.
It was a Watford game. Yeah, he basically didn't trek back, but he's someone that just needs to get going and needs a good run of games and needs to avoid injury. Same with Matip. Matip alongside Van Dijk is excellent, but when Matip and Keita are both made out of glass, but when they get going, they're excellent.
Yeah. I sort of agree with this comment. What Grant said here. First 10-15 minutes will be key. Can't let them get a goal early, as chasing the game against them could be deadly. Jazz, I got criticised on Twitter yesterday for my suggestion because obviously with the injuries, I would feel more comfortable, especially against Liverpool, playing a back five with Creswell going in there next to Bonner and Zuma, and probably Fornals as a left wing back and Johnson as a right full back because obviously Johnson's been on form. Do you reckon that's a negative playing that against Liverpool, or do you reckon that could help us?
That's one of only two formations that can help. I mean, Mike spoke about the Brighton game, and I noticed that Brighton played 4-2-3-1, which is predominantly what we play. So we can do 4-2-3-1, but the other formation is the one you're mentioning, which is quite interesting, where, you play three at the back, Creswell, one of the left centre-backs. I wouldn't play Dawson in this game because you're playing against pace, and Dawson's good when someone's big and slow. We can obviously choose from 2-3 to play as wing backs. The only thing with that formation is you probably have to perhaps take Benrahma out of that team, I think, because you're going to have the two sitting still in there, Souček, Rice, 3 up front and Tony in the middle. Then you've got to pick 2 out of Bowen, Benrahma, perhaps one other. I'm not too sure. I think Vlasic is the one who's 50-50 still in terms of injury in Yarmolenko. So, I think your formation, I would be one of the two I would select, I think. 4-2-3-1.
See, Benrahma wouldn't step out because you just would be changing the system. So you would have Fornals playing as a left wing back, which he proved last season how deadly he is, and you would have Benrahma in the hole.
So Benrahma would be either one side of Antonio then, because you'll have 3 up front.
No, behind Antonio.
Oh, so you do 5.
So you'd have
2,
Johnson and Fornals giving you width, Rice and Souček in front of him, and then Benrahma in front of, in front of them, and then Antonio up front. So you have the Bowen and Forn. So yeah, it's up. We could.
It looks like a 5-2-2-2, but then obviously the wing backs are joining in to create the 4 in midfield again. Yeah, I mean it will protect, because I'm scared of Liverpool's pace, and I've seen like you Salah live. Oh my god,
yeah, Salah's is off the charts this season. Off the charts.
You can't mark people like that, and I've seen Mane's coming back into his old form again. Firmino, what exactly happened with Firmino? Because I think he went off after 78 minutes against one of the last.
Firmino's got a hamstring. They're saying it's a pretty bad tear, so they're ruling him out for a month plus. So he's going to be out for a long time. So Jota would go straight in. But in terms of the bench, we've only got the likes of Origi or Minamino to come in. So our bench is, I wouldn't say it's great.
What do you think of Origi? Because we were linked with him big time, Origi, on loan, and nothing materialised. I mean, I think he's all right when he's on the pitch.
I think he's. We've been playing him in the cup games. Obviously, he scores big goals, so the crowd love him. But in terms of, I think we need a better player off the bench than Origi. To be honest, I'm not. No offense to the 3. No offense to like the lower teams or anything like that, but I think he's a player that's probably be playing for a club outside the top 4. If I'm perfectly honest, but he does the job. He does a job when he's playing as well.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah,
Mike, do you want to add anything, mate? Sorry, we went on a couple of tangents.
Okay, let's take those points then. Number 1, I do not think we should do 3 or 5 at the back. Liverpool play with basically a front 3, and the width really coming from the fullbacks. Yeah, but also they overload wide. Have you watched how often like Henderson switches out wide? He will pull out wide and really overload that side. We are leaving ourselves without the ability to cover that overload by doing that. Yeah, because we only got 1 player, and he's a midfielder you're talking about. I'm not a great fan actually of Fornals as a wing back. You're leaving us with a midfielder out of position, covering a hell of an overload there. They will cut us apart if we do that. We play with the 4. We've, for once in our lives, reasonably good at fullback this season. We've got a pretty solid central pairing in centre of defence. I don't think we muck around with it. I think we try and get Liverpool to worry about us. It's not like we're normally, I know we started with all of those stats, right, about how Liverpool always turn us over. Agreed. I have watched many of those games in real life, right, and they were painful. And but normally we're at the bottom of the table and they're at the top. This is 2nd, 4th. And this follows on from a successful season last season. We have to start acknowledging that we might be an all right football team for once. You know what I mean? I think for us West Ham fans, we're always like, we're doing well, aren't we? It's a bit of a freaky thing. We got a good team. We've got a good team. I'm not saying toe for toe we're as good as Liverpool, by the way, who I really rate as a team. Right, really rate the manager, really rate the way he's put that team together. But we're playing to their strengths by switching to that. I really, really think we are. I think we stick with our shape and get them to worry about us. It's like, I remember everyone said when we beat Man U in the Carabao Cup and we ended up with Man City in the next round was up, well, that's you out. And I was like, no, they won't want to play us. They really won't want to play us. You know what? Liverpool don't want to play us right now. We're in really good form. As you say, they've got real issues off the bench. I actually think Origi's an effective but deeply average player. My take on him, and I'm quite glad we didn't get him because I just think he does one thing reasonably well, and that's it. And I just think he's a bit limited. I agree with you, Harv. I think they need someone better to be that other person. But that other person that comes off the bench is supposed to be Jota. But the problem is, when you get an injury, he is in there straight away, and you're left with Rigi. But I just think you look at Liverpool, they just need to gradually bring that squad depth up to level in the way we're trying to do. Gradually bring that squad depth up to a level, so we've got someone decent to come in all positions. I think we play to our strengths, keep it tight at the back, dominate midfield, 4-2-3-1, where we've predominantly been playing this season, will give Liverpool a really good game. I think we'll give them a really good game.
Mike, would you be concerned about Cresswell lack of pace against Liverpool?
Well, Cresswell's not slow, is he? It's not like he's like some great taking time. With Liverpool, I don't feel it's as much at the back about pace as it is about positioning. And he's really good positionally, because you watch Liverpool and they love overloading that side where Salah is. Henderson loves pulling out there. I'm sure Hart would agree with that. You got Henderson turn up on that right wing. They've got Alexander-Arnold, who loves to cut inside as well. And they've got, obviously, Salah, who's a world-class player. But it's really about who you're picking up and where you are positionally against them. And you watch them tear teams apart who have got a person who cannot work that positional thing. It's about being prepared. I've got a cough now suddenly. Being in position. You can't catch everything. Okay. And you know what I mean? No, it's all about those things, about positional rather than pace. Because by the time they get to you, those three over there, they're already on top of you. It's not about getting up and down there. And we've already got a little system in place anyway. When Cresswell goes forward, you watch Rice will peel over to that left-hand side of ours to act as the extra cover there. And he will do the same. If Henderson starts moving over there, you'll see he will be trapped by Rice. They know each other well from the England squad. They know what they're going to do. If we know, Moyes sure as hell does. And you can counteract that with that way. It's about, as I say, positioning rather than pace, I reckon, Jazz. The other side, I think, will be a bigger issue for us. But we'll talk about that, I'm sure, as we go.
Still unbeaten, Liverpool, the only team in the league.
Yeah. Right. So I've got some more stats for everyone. This is a positive for West Ham. Excuse me. Mikel Antonio has directly been involved in 17 goals in the last 22 Premier League appearances at the London Stadium for West Ham. 11 goals and 6 assists. He's the top scorer 19 and assister 12 at the London Stadium ever. And he's one of the 3 current players to be outright top both assist at the Premier League ground, along with Jamie Vardy and Raul Jimenez at Molineux. Next one. This is only Premier League title holders Man City and reigning champions, European champions Chelsea have earned more points in the calendar year of 2021 than West Ham United 62. This is already 3 more points than the Hammers won in a single calendar year in any competition. Considering there's still 2 months left of that, hopefully we will smash that. This is the one what does me in, and I fear this one. Liverpool scored at least 3 goals in each of their last 6 Premier League away matches, netting 22 goals in total. In an entire history of the Football League, only one team has ever scored 3 or more goals in 7 consecutive away games, was Birmingham City back in 1892.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a stat, that.
Yeah.
And last one, Liverpool's Mohamed Salah has scored in each of Liverpool's first 5 Premier League away matches of the season, becoming only the second player to achieve this, behind Arsenal legend Thierry Henry from 2001 to 2002.
Not bad, eh?
Not bad.
Harvey, what's the Salah's contract situation at the moment?
They're saying, there was rumours saying he wants something like 500k. I don't think that's going to happen. So more realistically, they're saying about 380 will lock him in, but the American owners historically don't offer that kind of money for a player at that age. I've read somewhere like one of the top Boston Red Sox baseball stars was demanded something like that, and they just let him go. So historically, the Americans don't do that, and it's not the club ethos. But this is like Mo Salah we're talking about right now.
And I think
it's a player I reckon he could play till mid-30s quite easily. So he's going to be 30 next year. He could probably play another till 35, 36, maybe Ronaldo-esque. But I think we should. Personally, I think we should just give him what he wants. It doesn't matter about the wage structure. No team has a wage structure in the Premier League. I think we're probably I'm not sure what your wage structure is like, but our highest is Virgil van Dijk right now, and he fully deserves it. But Salah should be on top of that quite easily.
Yeah. Our highest earner is Andrei Yarmolenko.
How much is he on?
130.
130. Yeah, I think Virgil's.
That's a hangover from a previous regime.
No. I'm just.
It isn't the way we're going as a club, is it? I mean, but he is in the last year of his contract, and he's off.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, I was only trying to do that. I've got another stat though. West Ham made it 3 straight away victories in against Villa last year. So the question is, Jazz, are we going to win tomorrow?
I've gone for a 2-2 draw. Yeah, I've gone for a 2-2 draw. I think. The thing is, when you looked at when we played Thursday, I wasn't happy to see Rice play. Yeah, more or less the whole game. Antonio. 1 or 2 others, Benrahma, for instance, and I couldn't quite understand that, but I would have seen this as an exciting challenge tomorrow. I mean, if we win, we go above Liverpool. If we draw, we're still within 2 points of Liverpool, and I would have really put everything for this. Especially, it looks like we're going to top the group in Europa. We only need 1 more point from the remaining games, and we're going to the last 16, I think. So I wasn't happy to see that. I mean, thankfully they all came through without any injury. So I know we won the last game after Europe, but the 2 previously we'd lost at home, I think, to Man United and Brentford, I think. So usually in Europa at home we struggle, but we were okay last time. But Liverpool are so good, you just need to make sure everyone's fully rested and ready for the challenge. That was the only thing. So I've gone for a draw. Yeah, 2-2 draw. Yeah.
Mike, what about you?
This is difficult, isn't it? Jazz has just nicked my score, by the way. That's what I was going to go with. How dare you? It depends on how well that midfield copes. And that's the battleground. So if Fornals tucks in a bit, and if Rice and Souček play at the level they can play, we can dominate that midfield. I think that is the Achilles heel of Liverpool. That it is at the moment, especially with that Naby Keita player I really, really rate. I just think that's where we can get. That's generally where we get everyone, is by dominating that part of the pitch. It becomes crucial. Liverpool play long balls. I'm not saying the Sam Allardyce team, by the way. Right? they love to play that through pass that goes through midfield and almost takes it out, so it goes straight to the front 3. And that's because they know their midfield isn't up to the same level as City's or Chelsea's. Yeah, so. If we can dominate that and nullify that that counter-attack option, I still think we've got a really good chance of getting something out of the game. I'm going to go with 2-2. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool won, but I'm kind of saying I would be absolutely shocked if we actually beat them. I think we're not out of this. I know as West Ham fans, we look at Liverpool and go, right, well, we're going to lose. I quite fancy this against City in that Carabao Cup game. And same thing going on here. I think we can get something out of this. I'm going to go with 2-2 as long as we following Thursday's game and that wonderful own goal. I think we do need to now man mark Souček in our own penalty area. But
Mike, am I the only one who's not quite happy with Souček this season? I might be missing something. I don't know.
I thought he started poorly. Our last few games, I thought he's played really well. Okay. Souček seems to have added long-range passing. Have you noticed those cross-pitch passes, switching play he's been pulling off? He did some when he came on Thursday. He did some last week. I'm like, has he got this guy been on the training bit? He's suddenly pinging 40-yard passes around, which is like, wow.
And one of them 40-yard passes led to the goal the other night.
Yeah. Did I think he started poorly. I think he's really getting there now. The last couple of games he's been back to more or less what we expect. of Suchet from last season. But I agree with you, Jazz. For the first like 6 games, whatever, he was definitely off the boil, in my humble opinion. But
I just want to add this to Arsenal for life, saying that good luck against Liverpool tomorrow. You're going to need it, and 4th place will be ours. We'll need Arsenal to win and an 11-goal swing for you to get 4th. So no disrespect, I can't see that happening. To be perfectly honest.
And Harvey, Tottenham are going to win the league, aren't they? Since Conte came in, they're all come out the underground now. Tottenham, they're going to win the league now. So well done, Tottenham.
Good appointment.
There's only so many ways you can mould rubbish, isn't there? Do you know what I mean?
I'm surprised Conte went there, mate. I think he's.
I'm shocked as well. It's a great appointment by them. It's a great appointment. But
no, they struggled on Thursday. Did you see it? That was bad.
Yeah, I did.
How
can you go on? Sorry.
No. Yeah, like what you're saying. 3-0 down. A man sent off and then crumble like an apple crumble, literally, and then hang on against 9 men. Like, it's ridiculous. You couldn't write it, could you, Mike?
It was laughable. And the problem they've got is that they've got an incredibly average team. Okay, maybe Conte can improve some players there. He's quite good at reinventing people in certain roles. He certainly did that at Chelsea. But largely, he's going to want to get rid of half that team and buy a new one because they aren't up to it. If you want to, who are they comparing themselves to? Going to win the league, right? You're going to be better just because you got Conte than Liverpool, than Chelsea, than Man City. You're not even going to be better than us. You're not going to be better than Leicester. You've got a long way to go, Spurs. Sorry, but you have. Nice stadium, by the way, but you've got a long way to go.
See, Harv, what are you predicting tomorrow? What do you reckon the score's going to be?
Oh, you guys aren't. You guys are going to stone me for this, but I'm going for a 3-1 Liverpool.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
I think you guys are going to score first, and I think we're going to grow into the game. I think our midfield area is going to be the key because Fabinho and Henderson will probably pick themselves. It's who plays alongside them. And if he goes with Milner, I think we're going to be really, really slow.
It says Milner's injured on my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would go with Ox because Ox had a really good game midweek against Atletico, so I would go with Ox in that.
And he always turns up against us as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm going for the 3rd goal. I think it's going to be 2-1. Then Ox is going to nick one right at the end like he usually does. That's why I've gone for the 3-1.
Yeah, see, I've gone for 3 goals, but I've actually gone for 3-2 West Ham. On my prediction, the reason why I think that is I can see us going a goal behind. Level and then 2-1 down, and I can see. I keep saying it, Jazz. How many weeks have I saying it? I can see a Zuma winner. I can just feel it. I really can. I just want he's been absolutely outstanding, and I think it will be a late winner. I think this game's going to be very open. And the one thing I will say, Harvey, you're probably going to... I'm glad I'm going to the game tomorrow because I could not listen to Jamie Carragher on the commentary. I'm glad I'm going because I really can't stand him as a commentator, me personally. I think especially the bias towards Liverpool. Like, you can understand it, but he shouldn't be... I don't mind him in the studio doing analysis, but he shouldn't be commentating on a game unless like the Liverpool Man United when you've got Neville and Carragher, you can sort of understand it. But for me, I can't stand him as a commentator.
I think Neville's been worse, hasn't he? He's been more annoying, isn't he? Neville's been totally off his head.
He's proper pro. He's pro Solskjaer, isn't he? He's just like proper waving the Ollie flag. Yeah, don't say nothing bad against Ollie. Even Martin Tyler's on that bandwagon as well. So. When they both, it'd be interesting to see the commentating for the lunchtime kickoff. It's going to be proper Man United and Ronaldo this, Ronaldo that. But I agree with the point about Jamie Carragher. I don't fancy him as a commentator. I think he's really biased. You're right. I completely agree with you there.
Obviously, apart from Trent and Robinson, who are absolutely outstanding. Obviously, we've got another young right back. I think he's still older than... How old's Trent? 21?
I think it's 20. Yeah, it's 21, 22. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously we've got Trent. We've got another younger Ben Johnson, who sort of took over that play from Sufo. I was at the game at Villa Park last week, and obviously he got his goal, and he was outstanding, and he's sort of growing in confidence, and especially playing next to Zuma. I think that will be the battle. I think Johnson versus Robinson will be the key battle. Mike, what about you, mate? Do you reckon? Or
I was about to ask you. That because we talked about Salah on that side and that overload they'll have to play down there, but the Liverpool left or outright is where I think we can win or lose, or definitely lose as for this game. Yeah, because I think that Johnson and Mane goes right in narrow, and Robinson, comes down that side. Who we play there is pivotal, and we all know that Bowen will come back because he does the hard yards, but he isn't nearly as fast as Robinson, is he? And that's, I know who is. There's very few people. I think they will. That's where they're gonna have a real go at this. Do you remember we did that preview and I talked you into agreeing with me that Johnson was the man to play, and he did play and he scored, and it was just like, right, vindicated. I would play Kufal in this game, and I would play him because of that. He's got a very, very good relationship with Bowen, and we need both of them operating in tandem to have any chance of containing Liverpool down that side. He's also got a real knack of putting very good players in his pocket. See Grealish last season. He and like we're going. He's also very good at drifting into. He's very good at being inside. He's very good at coming inside with the attacker. So as Manny goes in, he's very good at doing that. He's physically robust. He's actually quite good in the air as well. And we're going to need that against Mane, who I really rate as a player. Not just because of his physical attributes, but because he reads the game really well. His positioning, Mane's positioning is phenomenal. The way he picks up little areas on the edge of the box when I get mixed up. Robinson goes wide and cuts it back for it. That is such a great route for goal. He cuts it the other way. They read each other really well. We need something equally as well honed. Do you get what I mean? What do you think, Harv?
I think you guys, it'll be interesting if you exploit that. When Trent goes up, if you exploit that area behind him, it's always he leaves large gaps in that area. So that will be
huge.
Especially Antonio. If Antonio against Matip, it will be no. Yeah. No disrespect, it's curtain.
Antonio will pull on to Matip for the whole game. He will pull on to Matip, and he'll let Bowen try and move on to Van Dijk in that gap between Van Dijk and Robinson, because that's the sort of player Van Dijk struggles with slightly more, that sort of faster, smaller player. But down that side, what do you think? Do you see that as a place Liverpool could exploit us with Mane and Robinson?
Yeah, I think with the pace as well, and Robinson whipping the balls in from that end as well, I think he's been pretty productive, and that is an area he can exploit. And even I think Trent, and what you said earlier as well, Trent, Salah and Henderson can exploit the other side quite easily as well. That area is probably more dangerous than the other area, than the other side. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think a lot of.
I think me personally. Oh, go on, half. Sorry.
I was going to say if I think our goals are going to, the assists are going to come from that side. Definitely the Trent theory. Yeah, I think it's going to definitely come from that side. He had a blinder in Europe midweek, and I think Trent's just going to keep on going. But he leaves a massive gap at the back. Just leaves a massive hole for you guys to exploit. And one-on-one, I completely agree with you there as well. Like one-on-one Antonio versus Matip, I'll be worried.
Yeah, and you're going to have Ben Marriner banging around that side as well. And you give that guy space, and he will exploit you this season. Yeah. He's starting to. He's got some end product there now. But we've got to have the ball to do that, haven't we?
Yeah, true. One of the areas that I wanted to speak to you guys was about your goalkeeper. I know Jazz loves that topic, but I remember a couple of seasons ago, Fabianski had a complete nightmare at Anfield.
He did.
And
I remember that.
It'll be interesting to who you guys start in goal, because I think we will if it's Fabianski, we will exploit him definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely. We've got a question. This will probably come for you as well. Mandy's a good contributor to the channel. How much of an advantage is it needed, the fact that we played away on Thursday in Europe and you played at home on Wednesday? Do you reckon that will play its part, Harv?
Yeah, that's why I went for my prediction as well. I think you guys will be. You'll have a bit of a European hangover. I think we won our last 3 after a European game, and I think with the away travel as well, I think it will be a factor definitely. And I'm not sure what your starting 11 was on Thursday. You probably did start some of your starting 11.
3 of them. I think we started about 3 of them. I think. Yeah.
Okay. But it still will be a factor. The travel would be a factor.
Yeah, Antonio played, Rice played,
Yeah.
Benrahma played. I wasn't too happy about that, but that's what we did. I've always been interested. Is the rumor like do Salah and Mane, do they get on, or is it just rubbish gossip? Do they get on? Because I used to think Mane was more greedy than Salah, never used to pass to him, but it might be just me.
I thought it was the other way around. Like Salah wouldn't pass to Mane, but it seems like it's they've got a love-hate relationship. They're just 2 greedy players that just love to score goals. That's what it is, and that's what their rivalry is. They have a rivalry, but it's benefiting Liverpool. It's benefiting the goals situation.
Going back to your goalkeeper question, what it is, Fabianski, Moyes is being loyal to him, and he's been okay. The issues with Fabianski, you'll see tomorrow. He's not very good coming out the box, distribution, can't kick the ball. I don't know if it's.
But to be fair, Jazz, the last 2 games he's actually.
He's been okay. But if Liverpool are going to be, if they're going to be physical with him, put high balls in there, he doesn't like to punch the ball too much either. He wants the defenders to do everything. He stays on his line. So it's a give and take. I like the other goalie, Areola, even though he could have done a bit more for the first goal in Europa. Areola could be France's number 1 after Lloris next couple of years. He was Fulham's Player of the Year. He's much more athletic, different to Fabianski. He's like Andy said, he's hanging in there. He's keeping his space, but he could be coming to his last year or so at the club, a couple of years away, I think. Yeah.
Mike, do you want to add anything, mate?
I think we covered it. It was a good question about the goalkeeper, by the way, because again, that is a topic we can waffle on forever about. But Fabianski has got a habit of having a bit of an issue with Liverpool. We'll play Fabianski; he will be there, I get why. I do get why, but. This is all about who wants to impose themselves on the other team. You've got 2 good teams, 7 v 4. There's no rubbish here. And we finished 6th last season. You finished, 3 points ahead of us in the league?
Yeah.
Wasn't hugely. So we're talking about consistently good. We're not having a flash in the pan freaky thing here. If we were good last season, we're good this season. You've got 2 good teams. You've got a range of the different styles. I think we are a very different stylistically team to Liverpool. It's who can impose their modus operandi, as they say, that style on the game, on the other team. Yeah. And I think it'll be a terrific game. I'm really looking forward to it. I actually think it'll be a bit of a humdinger. So I'm excited about it. And it'll be really interesting to see how Liverpool cope with us and how we cope with them, while still, as I say, trying to instill our style of play as Liverpool try and do it to us. It'll be a good game.
Yeah,
Ricky's a high Ricky.
Ricky's saying Mane's picked up a bit of form. We need Antonio to have a 9 out of 10. To be honest, Ricky, I think we need at least 6 or 7 players to have a 8 or 9 out of 10 for us to have any chance. But yeah, I agree totally. And
got to be up for it though.
You've got to be up for it. And I think the crowd will play its part. Like, even though I wasn't there for the Brentford and Man United game, you still heard the crowd. Like, we're still on that high. And I think we've just proved our mentality. Even if we do go a goal down, it's not like West Ham of old where you think it's more of how many. We sort of think, when are we going to get the goal back? So I think that's a bit of a mentality change. Mandy's made a good point here. That's the sort of thing what I was getting at. Could we maybe play Johnson and Soufal right mid, Soufal with Souček, Rice and Fornals with Antonio and Bowen as a 2? and maybe Ben Rama on the bench. Jess, what do you reckon?
Johnson and Kufal, right mid, Kufal with Souček. I wouldn't want to tinker too much, I think. I think like Mike said...
But Bowen and Antonio up top together, and you sort of tell them two to stay up there, and let all the other work... That could potentially stop the fullbacks bombing forward as much as what they would.
But we were playing in midweek. We haven't had time to go and put together some sort of special thing and work on it, weeks in training, etc. And also, we are changing a winning formula here to compensate for Liverpool. I don't buy this. Let's rip up the whole team sheet and throw it down a different way. That's sort of what Bilic used to do. Well, we're just going to play a completely different system this week. Yeah, but people haven't had time to prepare for. If we've been preparing for that and playing friendlies like that in the summer and maybe used it once or twice in cup games, fair enough. But we haven't. We've been very, very, very straightforward down the line. You kind of know what we're doing, and we're going to other teams. What are you going to do about it? And I think that is what we need to do here. And while technically I agree with you, that would be quite an interesting thing to see. I disagree with actually doing it without that sort of prep work. Let's give Liverpool. They know what they're getting. They know more or less what we're going to do. You might be able to double guess on who's playing where for a particular game, but we know what you're going to do. What you can do about it? What are we going to do about it? That's what this game's about for me.
Definitely. Peach, I don't know if you know Peach, Mike. He said Mike on a Monday is back.
No,
so Peach is happy to see us.
So he's from Toronto, so he's up early. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. So let's have a look here. Creswell's month away a bit from 32. Played in 90 minutes Thursday, up against Salah and Trent. So yeah, we've got that.
Oh God, I hope not. Oh no, not Masuaku. What? It's a defensive idea. Oh my God. No. Fornals is infinitely better.
Yeah, I reckon, like you said, keep the same formula. Let's have a look. I don't know who this person is, but Harv, what's Liverpool's disciplinary record like lately?
It's been fairly good. I think we've been top of the fair play charts for the last 2 seasons in a row or something. Yeah, it's been pretty decent. I can't even actually remember the last time we got a red card.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear you've been winning something.
Nice one.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not too sure about the
right.
I think the record's been good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's have a look at this. What I thought is, I know this is a West Ham channel, but obviously we've got Harv on as well. We'll do a little. Obviously, it's not a competition, but we'll do the fixtures. What are being played over the weekend? We'll just give our says on it. So obviously the lunchtime game, Man United versus Man City. We'll start with you, Harv. What do you reckon the score is going to be?
I'm going for United with this one. I'm going for a 2-1 United. I think they're going to turn up. I think Ronaldo's going to have one of those games. I'm going for United. I think they're going to, and plus they want to keep Ollie in the job as well. So yeah, going to go with United.
Mike, what about you?
3-0 City.
Oof.
Nice. Jazz?
2-2 again.
Talk about. Do you want me to put a peg on the top of that fence for you, mate?
Law of averages mean one game will finish 2-2.
Right. Let's have a look. So let's have a look and see what everyone else is saying. Ricky's saying 2-1 City, and Mandy's saying 2-1 City as well. Brentford, Norwich. Go on, Jazz. You can go. I've realised I skipped the queue. Go on, Jazz. You go first, and we can go down.
Oh, Norwich, worst team Premiership in a while. So I'll go for 2-0 Brentford.
Harv?
3-0 Brentford.
Mike?
1-0 Brentford.
Okay. Grant, sorry, I don't know if I put that. Ricky's saying Jazz get down the bookies. Grant saying 3-1 City. Peach is saying, I think it's going to be the Ronaldo show. Sorry, that was the one before. Ricky's saying 2-0 Brentford. Mandy's saying 3-1 Brentford. Peach is saying 4-0 Brentford. Grant's saying 3-0. You know what? I'm going for a 6-1 Brentford.
6-1.
I think Ivan Toney's just gonna rip their defence apart, to be perfectly honest. And I think it will be a very open game. And yeah, Grant saying 3-0.
I'm amazed you think Norwich will score.
I think they'll get I think they'll get a penalty or something. Chelsea Burnley. Obviously Burnley got that beat Brentford last week at home 3-1. So that was a bit of a. I think this is more of a close one. Jazz, what are you thinking?
2-0 Chelsea, because I think Lukaku's still missing, and a bit like City, don't really have a good striker up front at the moment. 2-0 Chelsea. Yeah, Burnley keep it tight, don't they?
Yeah, Harv.
I was going to go with the same score as well. 2-0 Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of as a West Ham fan? Obviously, people are comparing at the minute West Ham and obviously the second best team in London, obviously on form, and you could probably say that over the last 18 months. What do you make of Thomas Tuchel as a manager? Do you reckon he's good? Do you reckon that they're the ones to fear this season?
I think he's brought in Lukaku. Lukaku's a different, but I'm just surprised how he's changed the defense, because I still think their defensive centre back pairing isn't great. But the addition of Mendy's been phenomenal, and their midfield just works so hard. But I still question their centre back pairing. So I'm hoping they're going to have a bit of a mini blip.
We signed the best one, Zuma. He's been unbelievable.
he's
not
been
done
great.
one thing wrong. And the other thing I noticed about Chelsea, when Mason Mount isn't playing, there's no creativity in the midfield. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
So they need to have one or two more creative players, I think.
Yeah. Mike, what do you reckon, mate?
I am going to go 3-0 Chelsea. I actually think Lukaku is exactly the player Burnley would love Chelsea to have, because they've got Burnley centre-backs that could attempt to mark him. And that false nine thing, Burnley always struggle with, that player running from deep. I think that'll cause them all sorts of trouble. I think they'll win that at Cantor. Watch me be totally wrong. But I think 3-0.
Yeah. Peach is going 0-0 Chelsea Burnley. Imagine that. Yeah. Mandy's saying 2-0 Chelsea. Grant saying 4-0 Chelsea. Too much pace for Blue. And look, Matt, I'm gonna put that on 200 to 1. I'm gonna put a quid on it, and I now I've said it. You've got to say that. Next one. I think this one, like, to be honest, Jazz, me and you do that prediction, didn't we, with Dave and X? And this one is the one I keep changing, this next one. Obviously, Palace Wolves. How'd you see that one going, mate?
I'll tell you what, under Vieira, they're doing really well. You know, the players said we're in awe of him. He's like God when he walks in the dressing room, you know. So, and obviously Gallagher of Chelsea has hit the floor running. I couldn't remember that guy last season at West Brom now. He's one of the best midfielders in the league. So I'll go for 2-1 Palace. I think Wolves, they're coming back. I mean, they're coming back. Jimenez is getting there after his serious injury.
But Jazz, this is the thing what surprised me. Wolves are 7th on 16 points.
They've drawn a lot. Palace have drawn a lot of hard games, so they're not lost a lot. And obviously, at our place, we got away with a draw, and they were about to win. So Palace is doing well. Wolves have been up and down, but getting better. So I think Palace will edge it 2-1, and they'll be in the top 6-7, aren't they, Palace? I think.
Yeah. What about you, Huff?
I was going to go with a 3-1. I think Wolves definitely will score, but I think I don't know how Vieira's done it, but he's got Benteke performing, and I think Benteke is probably going to have a decent game. Zaha, if he plays, he'll be up there, and obviously, the kid from Chelsea. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Palace. Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
Do you know what? Last season, you would never have said Palace Wolves. That's going to be a good game, because they had very defensive managers. You could just imagine this being 0-0 all the way. This season, that will be a really good game. I actually think Wolves are starting to play really well. They're starting to click now under the new manager. It's a more attacking style. Palace are infinitely better this season, aren't they? As you've already sort of said. Yeah. I'm going to go for 2-2. Wolves and Palace do like a draw. Wolves are getting there. Do you know what I mean? They are getting there, and they're a well-run club. They've got some good players in there. They've got some injury issues as well, but Yeah, 2-2 and a good game. I wouldn't mind watching that. Anyway.
Yeah. Obviously don't promote how you're going to watch that. We're not
I'm
that
not
kind
going
of
to.
channel.
I stopped then. I was about to say something.
You'll be watching it on Gillette. You'll be watching it on Gillette, won't you, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky's going 1-1. Mandy's going 1-1. Grant's saying 2-2. Peach is saying 2-0 Palace. And yeah, Conor Gallagher, young player of the year so far. Yeah, I agree there. I've actually gone for 2-2 as well on my prediction so far. But like I was saying to Jazz earlier, I keep changing it. So let's talk about the richest club in the world versus a pair of seagulls. a few seagulls. Jazz, how'd you see that one going, mate?
I think these fixtures are hard, aren't they? Because I mean, anything could happen. I'll probably go for 2-1 Brighton. I think if that happens, you'll find that Newcastle are around 9 points from safety, which is that's serious. And Harvey might not know this, but when we play Newcastle, Callum Wilson always turns up, and then afterwards you never see him again, even though I do like him. And Saint Maxime, he's awesome in real life, but again, doesn't do as much as he should. Brighton, I mean, their manager is being talked about as one of the top managers in the league now. So every time there's a job, the Brighton guy is up there now, and they're a well-organised team like us. So I'll go for 2-1 Brighton, I think, at home.
Yeah.
To edge it. I think, and Newcastle have got a lot of issues, I think,
Yeah. Harv?
I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with 2-2. I think Newcastle will probably nick one towards the end. Brighton will be comfortable, but I think Newcastle will probably throw bodies towards the end of the game.
Oh, have they confirmed the new manager yet, Newcastle? Or
Eddie Howe.
Done.
Yeah, he's agreed in principle, apparently. Yeah, so I think it's pretty much done.
Okay.
Oh,
that's a long way to go from Bournemouth, isn't it, where he likes it? Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot colder.
He's a bit fussy. He said no to Celtic job. I mean, I don't know. I'm supposed to leagues.
Jazz, money talks, mate. Money talks. Yeah. If someone doubled your salary and you had to go and work in Newcastle, would you?
Yeah, then I come back by helicopter back to London.
What about you, Mike? How'd you see this one going?
2-0 Brighton. I think Newcastle are awful. The problem Newcastle have got is their two best players, as you've already alluded to, are Wilson and St Maxim. But you've got to get the ball to them, and their midfield is so porous. They've got a couple of good defenders, but as a unit, they don't defend at all. And I think Brighton will just keep the ball for that entire game and pick them off. But Brighton are a very good possession-based team. So Maxim Wilson won't get the ball. So 2-0 Brighton is what I reckon. Newcastle are dreadful. Whoever comes in there, if it is going to be, what's his name, Howe, then I can't, without a huge overhaul in January, and that often doesn't work, does it? Huge overhauls in January. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. Oh my God, their midfield's bad. I mean, really bad.
Looking at Ramsey at Juve, Mike, I mean, he's the wrong side of 30, isn't he? Don't know.
I mean, you can bring Ramsey and you can do that. Okay, but Ramsey's got to get the ball. I mean, what are they? And he's someone who loves being injured as well, isn't he, Ramsey? He's huge salary for an injured player. But they need to actually, instead of going for star names, focus on people who can do the basic job properly. You know what I'm saying? Rather than bringing in big names with a reputation and keep the fans happy, because they'll go down if they do that. I mean, that's what we used to do. Like, you need to bring in some quality players. You need a proper scouting network. You need to do it properly. Anyway, there you go.
So, Grant, with regards to your question, his name is He-Wing Chang. We was linked with him as well on loan. The Wolves.
He looks striker. Good.
Yeah, he's very quick as
the
well.
Goal on Monday.
Yeah, Ricky's saying 2-0, 2-1 Brighton, 3-2 Brighton, 3-0 protest against the Saudi regime by Brighton fans. Oh, news to us. And Brighton says Newcastle midfield careers are like yo. Oh God. Jazz, Arsenal, Watford.
Arsenal, rejuvenated Arsenal. You got to fancy Arsenal, haven't you? 2-0 Arsenal.
Mike?
Creeping up, aren't they, behind us?
2-0 Arsenal. I'm going to have to agree with that. Yeah.
Harv, you're on mute. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
what do you reckon?
3-1 Arsenal.
Okay, cool. Do you know what I'm going for? Just because Arsenal for life come in as well. I'm going 2-1 Watford. All that confidence. I reckon they might lose tomorrow now.
Never know.
Watford are like hot and cold. Like, especially if Arsenal are going for it, they've got Sarr. And is it Dennis as well? They can cause some damage on the counter. And
King's got a couple of goals, hasn't he? King.
Yeah. No, I'm going 2-1 Watford. Ricky's saying 2-0 Arsenal. Peachy's saying 2-2. And then Grant's saying the same as me, 4-1, but wouldn't be shocked if Watford blast them like what they did to Everton. Yeah. Everton Spurs.
Come on, Everton.
Come on, Everton. But Taz, what are you thinking?
God, this again could be anything. Don't know what's happened to Everton. I mean, they are missing Calvin Lewin. Oh, God, shall I go 2-1 Everton? Let's go for it. 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton, okay. Mike?
Two teams who couldn't find form if it fell on them from a great height and gave them a French kiss. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely bang out of form. It is could, and you're right, Jazz, could be anything. I'm going to go for 1-1, and because I can't think of anything else, 1-1. Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah. Harv, what about you, mate?
It's a tough one to predict, this one. I think, Conte's only been in there for a week. I don't know if he's got Spurs organised, but how can you get those players organised, the ones that he's got to pick? I'm going to go with a 2-2. I'll go with a draw.
Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah.
I actually, normally Peach's outrageous scores are ridiculous, but I'll say Ricky's first. Ricky's saying 1-0 Spurs. I'm going 3-1 Everton as well. I think Everton are going to smash them tomorrow.
Is he back?
I know Richarlison's back, obviously. I like him as well. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or 0-0. More chance of predicting the lottery. Guessing there'll be 3 goals either way. That's not a bad shout. Leeds Leicester. Obviously, Leicester played on Thursday, but they were at home, so they've not really got to travel too much. They played an okay team. Obviously, I know Vardy featured and stuff like that. Jazz, how'd you see this one going, mate?
Something's not quite right at Leicester, but I expect them to edge this one 2-1, I think. Don't think Maddison and Harvey Barnes have been quite on it. They got 3 strikers to choose from, really good ones, which no other team has. So, yeah, Leicester 2-1, edge it, yeah.
Mike?
I think Leicester, I agree with you. I think Leicester will win this. I think that Leeds are bang out form as well, aren't they? It's really odd. Who knew that losing what's his name, the strike Bamford would be so instrumental before Leeds came up? And but it is obviously an issue. I'm going to say 2-0 to Leicester.
Mike, would you like Rafinha at West Ham?
I think Rafinha isn't class in a jar player. We would never buy him because he doesn't do the defensive aspect of the game. But as an attacking wide player, he is brilliant. You know who'd suit brilliantly? Liverpool.
Yeah.
Rafinha would be brutal at Liverpool. He would fit in totally. And you were talking about moving Origi on, getting other player to come in. That is the player you need. You can play anywhere across that front line as well.
Replaces Shaqiri. Shaqiri just looks like he's a stone overweight when he plays. He's a good player, but he's a little fat sod, really, isn't he? Really, as well. I wouldn't say that to his face because he probably would knock me out or something, to be fair. But
he'll probably come on as a sub and do something tomorrow. He's good at
he did. He set up Jota, didn't he? He set up Jota last year for the winner.
85th minute,
Harv, how'd you see this one going?
I'm going to go with the Leicester win as well. I'll go with a 3-2, though. I think Leeds will probably get some goals. I can see it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Leeds will win. Leicester will win, so I'm going with a 3-2.
Yeah, cool. And obviously, Ricky's saying 1-1. A more confident Leeds 3-1. Peachy's saying 1-0. And Grant saying 2-0 Leicester. And Ricky, I think you're saying about Rafinha, definitely. We sort of said the predictions, but we want everyone else in the chat because everyone else has. We sort of said them earlier. Jazz, you're saying 2-2 for our game tomorrow, are you?
2-2. But I'm finding all the games, I don't know if it's this weekend, very difficult to predict. I'm finding it difficult because I think the league is just that kind of league. 2-2, I'll go for this, but could be anything. Yeah.
Mike?
It's a very competitive league this season, I think, apart from the relegation places,
Norwich,
which are done.
And
I'm going for 2-2 as well in this. But again, it could go either way. But I'm going to be optimistic. I think when you're optimistic with the draw. But yeah, 2-2.
Harv, you said 3-1, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm going for 3-1, yeah.
Yeah, cool. No worry. Any particular you said Ox is going to score. Who do you reckon else is going to score?
Salah, Ox, and I think Jota. I think those are the three scorers.
Cool. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, Peachy's saying 3-2 like me. I reckon 3-2 West Ham. And Grant saying 2-1. Hope I am wrong. Harv, I want to thank you for obviously coming on the channel, obviously as a Liverpool fan, and like you said, you're being honest, and that's the good thing about these channels. Like we prefer, there's no point coming here sitting on the fence, and obviously thanks for your input on the other stuff. Do you want to say anything before we go, mate? Or?
No, thanks for having me. It's been great fun.
Definitely. Like you said, this is even though this is a West Ham channel. Speak to Jazz, even if you want to come on and talk about whatever, you're more than welcome to come on. Like I said, we're one big family here. So.
Guys, if there's a such thing as a second team, West Ham are my second team because it's in the family. Jazz has taken me to Upton Park so many times.
Yeah.
Every time he's taken me to Upton Park and we played, and it's been West Ham Liverpool, we've lost.
Are you going tomorrow? You going tomorrow?
I'm not going tomorrow.
No, that's thingy. Mike, do you want to add anything before we go, mate?
Just a real pleasure to be here. Thanks for enjoyed doing this. Have a great weekend, everyone, and lovely to meet you, Harv. And
thanks.
I'll be these tomorrow, but in a nice, respectful way.
Jazz, what about you, sir? Before we go. Yeah, Harvey, thanks for coming, and he's coming around later on, so we'll have a bit of fun and games. And hopefully it's a good game tomorrow. I think we're going to see. Is there rum going to be involved? It is for me. Harvey's more vodka and whiskey, man. He is. Oh, is it?
That'll be you and me on the vodka and whiskey. Yeah.
What, together? And sorry, Ricky, I didn't see your comment. He's saying 2-1 either way. Ricky's saying goodbye. Grant saying good effort, balance and knowledge. Much better than Soccer AM. You know what? Me and Jazz were talking about this. If we're not playing on a Saturday, we'll do the shows at 10:30 on us. I think it's a good time to do it, Jazz, isn't it? If we haven't got, I like the Saturday morning shows. We've done a few. Mike's been on a couple of the previews, and I think it is.
It's fun, isn't it? It's a good time as well, and it's more fun. Yeah. And
I'm going to move down to the bottom because Jazz, you want to do an announcement about the show, don't you? What's starting on Monday?
Yes, I mean, Michael have been speaking about new shows that we want to bring to the channel. That's kind of why we created the channel, to do something a bit different. And we found out that me and Mike have a fondness and love for the official Premier League fantasy football, which I know Harvey's been part of for many years. I think I've been playing it since 2004, I reckon.
Yeah. And before we start as well, Jazz, I don't know whether you've got the link. People in the chat, comment if you do fantasy football, and you can. I know you've got multiple leagues, but Jazz started up a West Ham Reunited one as well. So go on, Jazz. I'll let you carry on as well.
I joined it this morning, Jazz, just when you sent me that.
Yes, I mean, Michael will be hopefully going live on Monday around 8 p.m. and it's going to be. The plan is we do it weekly on a Monday evening, same time if possible, 8 p.m. And then we'll talk about player of the week, worst player of the week, some of the signings that perhaps we think will be good for teams, or some players who haven't quite worked out. So, we'll be kickstarting that. It's a kind of a pet love for me and Mike. So, tune in this Monday, really. And every Monday going forward will be the Fantasy Football Show. And we've got a couple of other shows lined up, but we'll speak about them in the next couple of weeks coming up,
You can watch me be really torn on Monday because, you know, there's me saying 2-2 and I hope we beat Liverpool. And I have a double Liverpool pivot of Mane and Salah in midfield in my team. And and I've captained Salah as well. So it's difficult. It's difficult here.
Mike, you're really helping us.
Yeah, really helping the cause here. Right, don't look at my team. No.
I'll put the code on there for everyone.
Look, well. Hammerhead, the 1 year I don't do fantasy and football. It's never too late. Just start again, mate. Like I know, like you could, like I think Jazz. I think you're doing like highest points of the week and stuff like that, aren't you? I think you and Mike are doing so yeah.
We're doing a head-to-head. You can come and join in with that. Who does the most each week? I've had a good start. Jazz, Live and Moto.
Yeah.
Clean sheet last night.
And also remember, Mike, the website reminded me that they do like the FA Cup, which starts in about December, January.
The knockout thing. I always do appallingly in that.
But same me. Yeah, I don't do quite well either.
So Harv, if you do fantasy, get involved in our thing. The code's on there. Jazz will send it to you. But no, like you said, this is the build-up show to hopefully Man United getting absolutely smashed. To be perfectly honest, that's what I think. Harv will be the same. I think it'll be a good weekend.
I really think City will take him to the cleaners because I know the Ronaldo thing and he scored the equaliser midweek. They've been dreadful for months.
They
have been pants and they get away with it. City won't let them do it. They won't give them the ball.
Right. So it looks like Manchester United are playing a back three today. Before we go, I'll give everyone the starting lineup. So we have David De Gea in goal, Victor Lindelof, Eric Bailly, Harry Maguire, Bruno Fernandes, Scott McTominay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Luke Shaw, Mason Greenwood, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
It doesn't look good to me, mate. Eric Bailly's well past it, mate.
Yeah,
he's been dreadful.
Yeah.
Apparently, he had a blinder in midweek. Apparently, even though they conceded 2, but he was.
I thought he was dreadful. I watched the game. I thought Maguire was awful midweek. His positioning is so bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's so bad.
This is just ridiculous, though. The Man City team, ready?
Come on, then.
Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Walker, Stones. Sorry, not Jones. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Rodri, Foden, De Bruyne, and Jesus. But it's just even their bench, ready? Ake, Fernandinho, Grealish, Sterling, Zinchenko, and Mahrez.
What? Sterling and Grealish on the bench.
Mate, thank you for that. You've made my day. Because I also have Foden and Jesus in my fantasy team. And they're both starting. Come on, City.
I've got Jesus as well. I bought him 2 weeks ago, so hopefully something will happen.
Grant saying apparently Maguire's not even fit. Maguire's not been fit for years, mate. He's a fraud. He's a fraud, I'm telling you. And Ricky's saying Ollie's signed a new contract. So, like you said, this is the preview for the game. But obviously we've talked about everything else, which has been great. I'd like to thank Mike, Ricky, and of course myself and Yaz would like to thank everyone in the chat for getting involved. And hopefully this is a great build-up show for the game at lunchtime. And Ricky and everyone else in the chat, Harvey, don't have to do this, but we always finish the show with come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Cheers.